Alrighty, so hello everybody. In this video I'm going to be showing us how we are going to be able to replace the beams that are in our Keystone library. So what I did so far is I actually went onto the wall that I had here. I can toggle this back on so that you can see this, but basically I ended up hiding this in view, right? So I did that by elements. So you want to make sure that you hide that wall. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to click on this floor here. I'm going to right click that, also hide that in view as well. I'm going to hide that by elements. Now whenever we look up here at the roof framing structure, we can end up seeing all these different beams that we have. So just as a reminder, this right here is a beam. These beams are all going to be connecting to a girder, and these girders are going to end up connecting to the columns, and then the columns, if you follow this all the way down here, are going to connect to these footings. These footings are going to connect to the soil, and basically the soil is going to push back up on those footings. What we want to do for this video is we end up doing our calculations in 3.2.2, which was focusing on the loads and finding out what type of beams our open web steel joists that we would end up needing. And we basically found that any exterior web steel joists we would end up needing to specify 12K1 web steel joist for that. And then any of these interior beams here, we would need a 12K5 web joists. So we can end up doing this. We can switch these out. What we're going to want to do first is we're going to load the Autodesk family. Now in here we want to end up going to structural framing. So if I press all results back here, we can go to this. So we're going to go down here to structural framing. Once we are in there, we're going to look at these different options. What we want to find is the K series web steel joist. So if we go down here, we will find the K series bar joists as well as the K series bar joist rod web. What we can end up doing is selecting both of those options, and we're going to click load here. Now what this is going to do is it's going to bring in all these different types of these joists that we might need. So what we need to bring in is going to be the 12K1 as well as a 12K5. So I'm going to go ahead and select 12K1, 12K5 as well. If I hold down control, I can select both of those. They tell us right here, select one or more types on the right for each family listed on the left. So we want to select those, and we're going to go ahead and click OK. Now this is going to give me an issue because I already had imported these, so I'm just going to click the overwrite there. You all should not end up having that, but in the case that you do, just go ahead and click overwrite. So now what we want to do here is, because I brought in that second one, I'm bringing the 12K1, 12K5. What I'm going to want to do here is I'm going to click on this exterior beam. Now remember, this is an exterior beam. Why is that? Because there is no other beam to the left of this here, right? So this exterior beam, which is meaning that the tributary width of this is actually going to be just half the span distance from this beam to the next beam. So from this beam to this next beam, it's 5 feet. So half of the way is going to be 2.5 feet, right? So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and select the drop down here, and we want to end up finding the exterior beam, which we specified on here that we want to have the 12K1. Now I am going to use the angle web because we do want the web in there. So I'm going to go ahead and click 12K1. Now what we want to do is for each of these exterior beams, we want to actually specify that it is a 12K1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around, I'm going to press control, holding down control, and I'm going to click on all these exterior beams here to make them 12K1. So we got these other 5 here. We're going to go ahead and click this drop down. We're going to go to the angle web here for the K series. We're going to select 12K1. So those are all of our exterior beams, right? Up next, what we are going to do is we're going to actually click on all of these interior beams. Currently they are 18K9. Those got to go. We're switching those out for 12K5 steel joists. So we're going to go ahead and do just that. Let's go ahead and click on all of these, switching these out. Now remember, these are all of the interior beams here. So all the interior beams. And we are almost there. The computer is humming, fans going off from all the computational power. So let's see. I'm being very, very careful not to select anything that's underneath it, such as the stairs. So now what we want to do is we want to go ahead and select this drop down here, and we are going to specify for all interior beams 12K5. And then so now this is going to take a little while to load. It's processing. It's generating this. So now I see that it's selected 12K5 for all of these, and whenever I look at this, we can see, yes, we do indeed have the correct joists now on there, and that is what we will end up doing for our Keystone library, how to switch out the exterior beams as well as the interior beams there. Hope that was helpful. See y'all later.